Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neal, and Jeff. This is Triviality.
Welcome to Triviality, the game where a lack of seriousness meets
a little bit of knowledge.
Oh,
a little
don't
bit of
leave us
knowledge.
hanging,
Come on,
Ken.
why you jumping in on me? I was adding some tension to the
I
moment.
thought you were waiting for us to answer like a call and response. Because it's every time you try to
I
give
was
us
making the people wait.
you try to give us a fist bump sometimes or a high five
Right.
and we leave you hanging. I figured that's
I was trying to make the people wait.
okay. Well, you could just try it again then. We'll pretend it didn't happen.
Meets a little bit of knowledge.
Hey, that was great.
It was worth it, right, Matt?
Yeah, very satisfying.
Full house in the studio. How you boys doing?
You got it, dude.
Cut it out.
Good. I'm a little confused though, because you took the reins on this one. So
Yeah, I do sometimes, on occasion.
Ken
And
accosted
you know
me
what?
several
I'm gonna do
episodes
it.
ago.
I'm going to do it more.
yeah,
You should do it
accosted
more.
you.
You should do
I'm
it
gonna
more.
I'm going to start it out more. Usually
Yeah.
Neal just has the information in front of him. That's why he ends up doing it. So
It's because I usually memorize all the guest names, getting ready for the show, and I'm going to take a little break. I'd rather be on the beach over here and not worrying about
you
that.
think I've been on a beach the whole time? You think this
Mm.
is a vacation?
A mental beach.
Well, so this episode is going to be quite a nice vacation because we have a
Mhm.
great guest today.
We do.
And that is Sam Young. He is from Enid, Oklahoma. Welcome to the show.
Well, hey, good to be here.
Yeah, and why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, like you said, I'm from Enid, Oklahoma, and I am a teacher. I teach computers and a little bit of geography for the 7th graders. It's a small school, so I teach everything from 7th grade to high school. I'm also the academic/quiz bowl team coach, so this is all kind of fun for me, and the game today is going to be a little bit more academic than maybe, well, at least started out that way, but
All right, I'm a head out.
yeah.
Well, we'll make sure to suck all the academia right out of this this episode for you.
Yeah, I
How
mean,
about that?
originally this was going to be an academic game, but then all the guys on Discord said, "Are you kidding? Do you realize who you're asking the questions to?"
That
more
sounds like
Captain
Discord.
Planet question.
Yeah, right, Matt. Hey, well, we do need some academic questions. I know we're lacking there a little bit, and anything we can do to make us smarter while sounding dumber is always the goal.
Well, since the questions are going to be kind of highbrow today, I guess, you came up with the most lowbrow team name that you could think of.
Yeah, well, since Sam is a Quiz Bowl coach, amongst many other things, we thought we would be pay the troll toll to join the Quiz Bowl.
Okay, and that is Jeff and Neal's team.
Mhm.
And I guess that means I'm with Matt, and we'll be the boys' soul. That is the boys' soul.
And Jeff, I think we're still statistically the greatest team of all time in this room, in this suburb.
Oh yeah, because
Statistically
I'm
speaking.
terrible.
I think yes. I think statistically speaking that we are the best Triviality team comprised of you and I.
Yes.
Yeah, that is 100%.
and I'm the
true.
most losingest. I'm the most losingest man
But you do it with grace.
in the studio.
We are Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, statistically bad boys.
That's
Yeah,
a,
that's
that's
true.
That's another good name.
But I don't feel bad about it because usually going into the final round, I'm like in contention or like ahead or tying or something, and I just blow it in the
It's a lot
final.
of
So
Utah, Ken. We're a team.
It's a mind game.
There's no I in team, but there is me.
I will say you probably have more losses than Matt has appearances.
Well, we've talked a lot about this game, but how do we play this game?
Let's get the rules.
The rules of the game are simple. 20 questions split into 2 rounds worth 10 points apiece. At halftime, there'll be a special swing round designed by this week's host. After regulation, players will enter the final round with the points that they've accumulated and will have a chance to wager 0 to 30 points on 5 categorized questions. At the end of the game, someone will be named the cream of the crop.
I am the cream.
Those are the rules. And
Yeah.
now we want to toss it back over to Sam to ask us some excellent questions.
All right, sounds good. You guys ready to go with round 1, question 1? This is going to be in the category geography. So Australia is a very unusual continent. It started as the world's largest prison, and according to some language experts, speaks a drunken English. They are also known for really long fences, over 5,000 miles, give or take. There are 4 primary animals the fences were designed to keep out. So for 5 points if you can name 2, and 10 points if you name all 4.
Okay, Jeff and I conferred over here, and one of them I knew 100% because of a movie. Imagine that. But we're going to lock in.
Because of
think
the
I know what-
baby.
I think I know what movie you're talking about too.
Not even the baby eating, a different
Is it
movie.
Australia?
No,
Kangaroo Jack.
no.
Crocodile.
I would
Dundee.
keep that kangaroo.
All right. Well, we think that kangaroo,
Mm-hmm.
Kangaroo, I believe, is the plural of kangaroo.
kangaroo is.
Is
Mhm.
it?
I don't know.
I don't know
Just
about
messing
that.
with you.
Anyways, we think those kangaroos are all over the place.
hmm
So you probably want to keep them out, though they're probably not predatory, but still could be a
Mhm.
problem. And then we're going to go with the classic dingo.
Okay, and do you need the other two for your bonus?
We'll go with
Wallaby.
wallabies.
Wallaby.
Big trouble.
Yeah. And
Those
then
wallabies.
bullfrogs.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure the longest part is the dingo fence,
hmm
and I'm pretty sure Matt's right about frogs. So
And also said kangaroo. And the one I got from the movie, there's a movie from Australia called Rabbit Proof Fence.
Oh, that's
so
right.
we said rabbit.
That's the movie I thought you were thinking about. And that is indeed correct. It is rabbits, dingoes, kangaroos, and the fourth one, due to their, 6-month war with them, was the emus.
the
Oh.
emu. That's right.
They,
So
they
that'll
lost
be,
that war.
So that'll be 10 points apiece.
Okay.
I forgot about the emu war.
Mhm.
I wouldn't want to go to war with an emu, that's for sure.
No.
Yeah, they
Hot Topic
literally
built the
had
fence to keep the emus in.
They literally had machine guns strapped to trucks chasing the emus around trying to shoot them, and it didn't go well. So
Wow. Well,
'Cause
speaking
the emus fought back with bigger machine guns.
Speaking of Australia, there is a very deep cut movie. If you want to see something that's kind of disturbing and dark, it's called Wake and Fright, and it was made in the 70s, maybe late 60s, and Donald Pleasance is in it. But it's the reason that from that point on, movies have animal trainers and
Oh, I've heard of this.
don't hunt
one.
actual animals on camera.
Yeah.
So check it out.
And now he's known as Donald Unpleasance.
Very true.
all right, question 2 is in history. Okay, another split question for 5 points each. What 2 islands hosted Napoleon in exile? And if you want a hint, I can provide a hint too, if you guys aren't sure.
Take a hint.
Okay, so the hint is perhaps that Heimdall and Bellatrix Lestrange were his guards.
Okay, I know one of these right off the bat, and I think I got the second one from the clue, so we will lock in.
So his hint there was Hemdall, which is Idris Elba from Thor, the guard to Asgard.
Yeah.
Is it Asgard or Asgardia? I can't remember.
Well, the clue is Elba.
So it doesn't matter.
Okay, Elba was one of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, duh, Idris Elba, right? And then Bellatrix Lestrange is it's Helena. That's the other one, Helena Bonham Carter, because I knew that. I just needed to hear it. So Helena and Elba.
Yep.
Okay.
And we said Elba and Helena.
Okay, so what I have is Elba and Saint Helena. You guys can decide whether you want to do the points.
Points.
Yeah,
points.
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 Woo.
Points.
Yeah.
Points.
I'm okay with that. All right, let's move on to question 3 in sports, and this is a local question. In 2008,
Baker Mayfield.
no, 2008, Ric Flair, the Nature Boy himself, was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, alongside what tag team duo that were from Oklahoma that were instrumental in the sale of the Georgia Championship Wrestling to Vince McMahon, kind of led into the WWF, and were also credited with discovering Hulk Hogan playing bass in a bar.
Oh, wow.
And they just asked him, do you want to wrestle?
Let me tell you something, brother.
No, he was just a big guy, and they're like, hey, you should be a wrestler.
You'd look good with a bunch of oil on you.
Yeah.
That's where, honestly, a lot of those wrestlers, they were just working out in a gym, and another person who
Or
was
a
a
bouncer
wrestler
at a
would be like,
bar.
I think
How'd
you'd
you
make
like
a good
to have-
wrestler.
How'd you like to have chronic pain?
Yeah, right. How'd you like to have 20 back surgeries and lose 4 inches off your height?
Might be these guys.
He was just slapping the bass. Never thought he'd open a pasta restaurant.
Pasta mania. I'm between these two. I don't think
Whatever you think
you don't
about
have an opinion. We're locked in.
Okay, so just to confirm, we're looking for a tag team that also was inducted at the same time Ric Flair was.
Right, and I will also tell you that they were brothers.
Do you have any idea on this one, Jeff, or no?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No.
I'm trying to think of old tag teams. I'm not too good with like early wrestling. Part of me thinks it could be like one of the Four Horsemen, but I don't think any of them were tag teams like
You only
Arn
like
Anderson.
wrestling after like 9 o'clock, right?
Exactly. 9 o'clock when the
Late
lights are
night
off.
wrestling, cool.
Yeah, we can wrestle later if you want on top of a twister board.
I mean, that's our Monday night tradition.
It is, especially with the spin dial, because when you spin, you don't know what's going to happen. So I don't think it's like an Arn Anderson or something. The only tag team that's coming to me is one that I dressed up for as Halloween one year, the Road Warriors with the football pads. What do you think of that?
Sure, I'm good with that.
Okay, so our answer is the Road Warriors.
Yeah, so I was torn between a few. You said brothers, and I'm thinking Steiner brothers, but they wouldn't have been inducted in 03 because I think Scott was still wrestling at the time. I was thinking the Nasty Boys because they were good friends with Hogan and followed him everywhere and got lots of jobs. But in the end, we locked in with the Road Warriors.
All right. Unfortunately, it was kind of a deep cut. I wasn't sure. I'm not a huge, go back and watch all the wrestling fans, so I wasn't sure how well known these two guys were. Their names were Jack and Jerry Briscoe.
Oh, the Briscoes, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the tie into that is one of the teachers at the elementary equivalent of our high school is actually the daughter of Jack Briscoe. So that's how that inspired me to write this question. And I just did research, and he was actually bigger than I thought. I'd never heard of him before, but just doing the research, he was pretty big in the 70s and 80s. So
now, do you think there was a team called the Bosco Brothers?
Just through breadsticks.
Just through that was like their weapon of choice. Like instead of the kendo stick, it was breadsticks.
I was saying more of like a Donkey Kong, but he's flinging breadsticks.
They're very successful until people started eating their weapons.
Exactly.
No, then they were really successful because they got like slowed down by all the carbs.
Too many carbs. You're right. That's true.
All right, let's move on to question 4. And this is in zoology. So scientists agree that the bowhead whale has the longest lifespan of all marine mammals, sometimes living over 200 years. But what apex predator leads all mammals on land?
Oh, that's probably not land, though, right?
Would you consider a tortoise an apex predator?
I was thinking that a snapping turtle. I was thinking of the same thing, actually.
I don't think they're land mammals. Yes, but good guess though.
All right, we're gonna lock in. We pretty much have to guess here. We don't know.
Do you want to say human beings?
That could be a very interesting twist. Yeah, I mean,
Jaguar.
It's definitely not a Jaguar. Although I did see a picture of a beautiful all-black Jaguar, which there's not very many of them. If you look on Instagram, it's really
in your daily Googling of Jaguar.
Well, it's Jaguars at 9 a.m., WebMD at 10 a.m., and Sync memorabilia at 11 a.m., and Patrick Swayze at noon. But we said hippo, we said other things, maybe small animals, but I like your idea. Let's go with human.
Yeah, that's correct. But we said the lion, the noble lion. But you're right. It was a trick.
All right, so trolls under the bridge or whatever you guys are, you kind of backed into
it. Troll
toll. There you go. It is indeed humans. Everybody forgets that we are mammals and we are kind of top of the food chain. Nothing really hunts humans other than
Oh man, so Randy Orton would have been correct.
Spiders,
I was going to say, it depends on how deep my pockets are. That much.
Yeah, if you pay Jeff enough, he'll hunt a human.
Yeah,
the most dangerous game.
Yes. All right, so let's move on to question 5. This is everyone's favorite literature. All right, this failed Klondike prospector was born John Griffith Cheney. He felt the wild calling and became an oyster pirate at the age of 15. I have no idea what an oyster pirate is, but it sounds interesting. Mm-hmm. A vagrant at the age of 18 and died at the age of 40. However, he still managed to write over 100 short stories and novels. Who was this author?
He's a swashbuckling shucker. That's hard to say.
I kind of like that.
You heard it?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to lock in here.
Call of the Wild?
Oh, I guess that could be. Yeah, I was thinking of someone older. Like maybe it's not a Herman Melville then, because I feel like he was a wealthy guy. Maybe not. I don't know anything about Jack London, but I like that line of thinking. We can go Jack London.
Okay. We're going to lock in with Jack London.
Yeah, we heard Call of the Wild as well inside that question, so we said Jack London. Plus, it sounds like a made-up name.
All right, you guys indeed picked up on the clue, the wild calling, as in Call of the Wild, and it was Jack London.
Awesome. Yeah, I did not hear that clue until Jeff mentioned it, so very nice job putting that clue in there.
And the Call of the Wild with Harrison Ford and that fake-looking dog, monster box office success.
Balto?
Here's something haunting.
Balto.
We have a theater near us called the LaGrange Theater, which is like a vintage theater, and when the pandemic started, the last movie poster on there is Call the
Call the
Wild. Every
Wild.
time
Still
I
there,
still up.
yeah.
It's still up, yeah.
and I keep driving past, and it's
'Cause
so
they
haunting.
still haven't reopened.
The
Are they
last
going to
movie
reopen?
ever shown in the history of the world was the Call of the Wild.
Well, here's another haunting fact. Troll Toll has 40 points, and The Boy's Soul has 30 points.
That's still a pretty close game. All right, moving on to question 6. In botany, what common vegetable, once thought to be an aphrodisiac, is actually the stem of a variety of lily known in Old England as sparrow grass?
All right, me and Matt wrote down the same thing, so we're locked in.
Could this be some sort of mushroom? Oh,
No.
aphrodisiac. Sorry, I was thinking when he said aphrodisiac, I was thinking
That's not the
You also
problem of
said-
the question. It's not the part of the question that's the problem.
Maybe it's a fungus among us.
What do you think then, Jeff?
I don't know much about aphrodisiacs.
He said it came from
No
a
comment.
stem from the sparrow grass. I don't know much about different aphrodisiacs either. I'm trying to think food ones, but is there a vegetable you can think of that's like kind of,
A stem.
a stem? Yeah,
Stemmy.
like not celery. I don't think is an aphrodisiac. Otherwise,
I
I
doubt it.
eat a lot of celery and it's not doing
It
anything.
turns me off.
Yeah, it's a no-go for me, too.
Anything that's a stem you can think of that's green, because the sparrow grass is what makes me think of it. I don't know.
I don't know.
How about we say broccoli?
Sure.
Okay.
Stemmy.
I do like broccoli, but I don't think it's an
broccoli is the
aphrodisiac.
flower, right?
Yeah.
Listen, I
Um,
think everything at one point in time has been considered an
Yeah,
aphrodisiac.
pretty
Yeah.
much. We just picked the stemmiest veggie that we know, and we picked celery.
All right, well, you guys, there's a game that you can play called Mad Gab, where it's kind of a rearrangement of words, and you're trying to figure out a phrase. But if you say sparrow grass slightly differently, it's asparagus.
Oh.
So you
Ah.
guys
Yeah.
both
Yeah, that's
missed
an
a-
aphrodisiac.
Well, it was.
Also
I
stem.
just said it was once thought to be an.
No,
I don't
no,
think
I'm
it
just
actually
being funny.
is.
And it's funny, 1 in 3 people get the aphrodisiac qualities of asparagus.
Mm.
And you know something else. You know who was not affected that way by asparagus? Daniel Day-Lewis.
That's
in
true.
Phantom Thread.
That is true.
Don't cook his asparagus wrong.
He does not want a confrontation.
All right, let's move on to question 7 in music. What country music superstar from the coal mining town of Butcher Hollow, Kentucky, was a grandmother by the age of 34? And that was only 2 years after she had some twins of her own.
I know the reference, and I'm just trying to remember her name. I always mix it up with someone else.
Well, if I,
Write some things down, Neil.
Matt feels confident.
no, I don't. But we're locked in.
You're locked in?
Yeah.
It's the coal miner's daughter with Sissy Spacek and Tommy Lee Jones. And I just named some famous female country singers because I'll know it if I hear it.
Reba.
It's definitely not Reba. It's not Dolly Parton. It's
No.
Reba.
it's not Tammy Wynette.
No, it's not June Carter Cash.
No.
It's not.
Oh man, I know who it is, and I'm really blanking. Can you name any other ones?
That's it. You named them all.
Those are the only ones.
What's her name?
Hayden
not-
Panettiere?
No, it's no one contemporary. No Miranda Lamberts or Carrie Underwoods.
Connie Britton
Connie Britton is an actress
from
in
Nashville.
It's let's see,
Just
Coal
naming
Miner's
all of them.
Daughter, starring Sissy Spacek, was about
You didn't say Loretta Lynn?
Loretta Lynn. That's who it is.
Um,
We'll lock that in.
Okay. What do we say?
after a long day of working 9 to 5, I couldn't think of anybody, so we said Dolly Parton.
He indeed remembered the correct movie reference with the coal miner's daughter. That was Loretta Lynn.
Your brain works in fascinating ways.
I wish someone would have told me that when I grew up, so I'd felt accomplished. But thank
the
you.
weird thing is, I don't know what he said that made me
No.
remember that because I've never seen the film.
Good film.
All right, let's
Kind of-
move on to question 8. This is under the U.S. government. Name 2 of the 4 presidents that were Whigs. And once again, I have a hint if you guys need a hint.
No, we're good.
And just to confirm for the listener, the presidents that were Whigs, not war Whigs.
Yep, correct.
Okay.
Warwick's?
That's more
There was
for
a lot
me.
of those.
They were war pigs.
Oh. So I think it's John Quincy as the Adams.
It might be both Adamses
Hmm.
because Adams, I don't believe, was a Federalist, was he?
Ooh.
Because it was Federalists and Whigs.
The Whigs were
Oh no,
anything past like 11.
Democratic Republicans.
No. I think John Quincy and I think Madison might have been.
I'm good with that. Madison, no, Madison was
a Federalist?
He was in Hamilton, so let's just write him off.
Okay.
Everybody in Hamilton was either a Federalist or a Democratic Republican. Pretty sure.
Okay. What about Van Buren? Our boy Van Buren.
Van Buren boys? He seems like he'd be a Whig.
Yeah.
That's fine.
John Q. Adams and Van Buren.
It's all on you, Jeff.
Yep. So the two I'm absolutely certain about would be William Henry Harrison and his VP Tyler, because they both ran on the Whig ticket. And then I know they're all in a row, but I can't remember if it's so Polk is definitely one of them, but I can't remember if it's Taylor or on the other end with Van Buren. But we're gonna just lock in Harrison and Tyler.
Okay, so yes, Harrison and Tyler were correct, and then also Taylor and Millard Fillmore were the other two.
Oh,
they skipped
jeez.
Polk.
So that was you. You guys are definitely got the 10 points for that one. The other team did not. The boys did not.
We did not.
All right, let's move on. All right, so the next category for question 9 is spelling. I guess you guys love spelling.
Well, I'm out.
Good news is you don't actually have to spell a word.
Back in.
Teachers are notorious for finding catchy ways of helping students learn to spell. Can you complete the following mnemonic rhyme? I before E, except after C. Finish the statement.
Yeah, we have it.
Oh, I'm glad you have it because I know how to spell really well, but I don't know this clue, so I'm just going to trust you.
Isn't it except in neighbor and way?
There's more to it. I prefer E except after C.
Except in neighbor and way and all throughout May.
Those are the two that it mentions. I'm for E. Except
I think
for
that's
C.
a good enough answer.
Okay.
I hope so too, because as soon as you said that out loud, I was like, "Oh crap, do I remember that part?" But yeah, we said I before E, except after C, except in the case of a neighbor and way. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that
Give
what
us
you guys?
points.
Points.
You
Okay.
can't just bully him into
So-
points.
Yeah, so the official answer is or when sounding like A,
Yeah.
as in neighbor and
yeah.
way. So I'll let you guys make the judgment call.
No points.
No
points.
points.
No
No
points.
points.
No
All right.
points.
No
Will be the
points.
points.
No
Will be the points.
I mean, it makes no difference if it's
Yeah.
points
Yeah.
or no points. But
Yeah. Either you both get points or you both don't get points, so it comes out as a wash in the end. All right, let's move on to question 10. Get away from spelling stuff. All right, so current events. ESPN came under fire in August 2021 after it was discovered that a high school football game that they aired featured a fake high school that went by a what religious sounding name that was probably just down from Elm Street.
I have never heard this.
Oh, you didn't hear the story? Oh, it's unbelievable. There were guys that were like 20 or 30 years old playing, and they pretended to be in high school, and
And they
It's-
were really
it's
bad
bad.
too. That was the
ESPN
funny
aired.
thing.
because they duped ESPN into thinking it was like an actual they were actual conference playing like a college game, but it wasn't. Or they
A
were
high school
just
game?
Yeah, high school game.
high school game. So I don't know. It was just a funny story because it was just
Oh.
it's gonna be a movie someday.
Yeah, I
It
was
has
gonna
to
say
be.
it's gonna be a great Jonah Hill movie.
Yeah.
he'll still
Um,
play the high schooler.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll say, since you said down the street from Elm Street, we'll say St. Frederick.
There you go.
Yeah, it's something Frederick. I'm trying to remember. Their uniforms were all black. They kind of looked like the ones from Any Given Sunday, the Sharks. And everyone just looked like a very old adult playing a kid's game. But I was just thinking Frederick. I don't know the actual name of the school. I don't know if we can just say
What we said?
St. Frederick. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do
Yeah.
that.
All right, so I guess I misled you with the Elm Street. I was thinking, usually in a neighborhood where there's an Elm Street, there's a bunch of other streets named after trees, and then the religious sounding. So it was Bishop Sycamore.
Mm,
Oh wow.
that's right.
That sounds like a real school.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was real until I read the article.
That's where my girlfriend was in high school. She went to Bishop Sycamore.
She probably played on that football team.
Yeah, that's why she couldn't go to any of the dances.
That's also in Canada, right?
Yeah, down the street in Canada.
All right. Well, Boys Soul decided to hold tight at 30 points. Why are you guys laughing? I don't know. I don't know what you guys are laughing at. And the Troll Toll added to their score to 60.
Oh, well, and speaking of Sam being on the show, he talked about many of these questions being play tested by our friends over on the Discord. Just wanted to let everyone know you can, too, join the Discord along with Sam and many others. If you'd like to be a play tester, if you'd like to just, talk about different goings on. Matt, you play Pokemon there with people all the time. Is that right?
All the time, always Pokemoning. Gotta catch them all. That's what they tell me.
So there's a Pokemon channel. There's a board game channel that people have been playing board games. There's
We
a lot
put
of
up some spoilers for episodes. So if you want to talk to people about episodes
Yep.
that you've already listened to,
So you can go there. You can go to the crop if you want a Facebook option, and then we're going to be interacting a little bit more on our Patreon. So a lot of options for you to interact with us on social media. So just make sure to follow us at Triviality Pod on most social medias, and then our Discord link will be in the show notes.
Or don't, you party pooper, you. All right, let's get the swing round today.
All right, so the swing round it's about children's book authors. A lot of times when I was a kid, there was a really popular children's book, but I had no clue who the author was because I didn't care because I was a little kid. So I'm going to give you the author, so you don't have to find that. I'm going to give you author and a line from the book, and you tell me the name of the book.
Alrighty.
And these are mostly like geared towards ages 3 to 7. There's one that's a little bit more like 7 to 9, but most of them are in that age range.
Da Vinci Code.
Yeah, that's on here right here.
Yeah.
All right, are we ready? So the first one, Margaret Wise Brown, and the line is "Good night stars, good night air, good night noises everywhere."
Classic.
And the second one, Eric Carle, "In the light of the moon, a little egg lay on a leaf." Number 3, Mildred Taylor, "Baby, we have no choice of what color we're born or who our parents are, or whether we're rich or poor. What we do have is some choice over what we make of our lives once we're here." And that's the one that was kind of a little bit geared towards a little older age. Number 4, Judith Viorst, "Some days are like that, even in Australia." Number 5, Janelle Cannon, "How can we be so different and feel so much alike?" mused Flitter. "And how can we feel so different and be so much alike?" wondered Pip. Okay, and number 6 is from Dawn Freeman. And there's a blank here because it's the title character. Blank is a bear who once lived in the toy departments of a big store. Day after day, he waited with all the other animals and dolls for someone to come along and take him home. Okay, number 7 is Monroe Leaf. He wouldn't fight and be fierce no matter what they did. He just sat and smelled. And the bandoleros were mad, and the picadors were madder, and the matador was so mad he cried because he couldn't show off his cape and sword. Number 8, from E.B. White. Nobody of the hundreds of people that had visited the fair knew that a gray spider had played the most important part of all. No one was with her when she died. Hope that didn't contain spoilers. Then number 9 is from Shel Silverstein. Come, boy, sit down. Sit down and rest. And the boy did, and the tree was happy. And finally, number 10 is from Roald Dahl. There's no earthly way of knowing which direction they are going. There's no knowing where they're rowing, or which way the river's flowing. Not a speck of light is showing, so the danger must be growing, for the rowers keep on rowing, and they're certainly not showing any signs that they are slowing.
Well, I can't believe that's actually in the book and not just in the movie, but we will be right back with our answers. And welcome back to the show. Prepare for Annihilation, Matt.
Mm-hmm. I came in
seems-
prepared for that.
Neal has read these. He's very
Last
up to
night.
date on children's literature.
I wish I was. I've only read a few of these, and most of them in the last week.
And yeah, let's toss it back over and we'll get the quotes one more time and see how we did.
Okay, so the first one was Margaret Wise Brown. Good night stars, good night air, good night noises everywhere.
If you're going to wish those things good night, you might as well wish good night to the moon as well. So we said good night, moon.
Jeff first said he thought it was the book read by Samuel L. Jackson in the Audible version, Go to Sleep. But we ended up just locking in with Good Night Moon.
So yes, you're both correct. Second one, Eric Carle. In the light of the moon, a little egg lay on a leaf.
All right, for this one, we wanted to go with the Hungry Caterpillar or the Very Hungry Caterpillar, but I think we're going to go with the Grouchy Ladybug.
Oh, that isn't one of his books. I mistakenly said the hungry caterpillar, but Jeff said those are hippos. So we locked in with the very hungry caterpillar.
You should have stuck with your first gut. It was the very hungry caterpillar.
That's my bad.
What's the one with the bear? Do you remember that one?
That's
like a big
brown bear, brown bear. Both my kids loved both those stories, and they would read them to themselves to go to sleep. All right, so number 3, Mildred D. Taylor. Baby, we have no choice of what color we're born, or who our parents are, or whether we're rich or poor. What we do have is some choice over what we make of our lives once we're here.
We have no idea on this one, so we're skipping it.
Yeah, we had to tap on this one as well. We had a couple ideas, but none that we felt strongly about. So we'll just, for fun, we'll say Mildred Taylor. Maybe she was part of the Chuck Taylor dynasty and said sneakerhead.
All right, no points for either team. It is Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry.
Never heard of that.
My kids had to read it, I know, back in like 3rd or 4th grade. I don't think I've ever read it, but I know my kids read it. So, All right, number 4, Judith Viorst. Some days are like that, even in Australia.
Well, we are going to go ahead and pick a book that helps me in my times of insecurity and say, everybody poops.
It's a good answer. Jeff, what did you think for this one?
I have no idea.
All right, well, I guess we'll just go with what I wrote down, and we'll say it's called Mark That Magpie.
All right, well, this was made into a movie not too long ago, and this is Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. And throughout the book, he just keeps saying, maybe I'll just move to Australia. And so at this point, he's like, some days are like that, even in Australia.
My backup plan was to, if we didn't know any, to use that book, but I was like, I don't think it's that because there's nothing to do with Australia, but apparently there was. So, my bad.
I don't know if the movie referenced it. I don't think I've seen the movie, but I know that in the book it repeats it several times. So, all right, let's move on to number 5 from Janelle Cannon. How can we be so different and feel so much alike? Mused Flitter. And how can we feel so different and be so much alike? Wondered Pip.
We had no idea. I think maybe one of those was a toaster, so we said the brave little toaster.
Yeah, we just took the name Pip and we didn't know it, so we said maybe it's Pippi Longstocking.
I did enjoy the movie The Brave Little Toaster, but that is not the correct answer. This is Stella Luna. It's about a little bat, I believe.
Oh, yeah, I've seen the cover for that.
All right, so next one, Don Freeman. Blank is a bear who once lived in the toy departments of a big store. Day after day, he waited with all the other animals and dolls for somebody to come along and take him home.
It's got to be Paddington, right?
Close. This one,
Corduroy.
If we're right, it was a book I used to love reading, and it's what Matt said. We locked in with Corduroy.
That is correct. It is Corduroy.
He's missing
Paddington was the one
button.
with the blue hat and the yellow Macintosh.
Matt has such disdain for corduroy.
Yeah,
Go find your button,
Couldn't
bear.
hold on to one button. What are you doing?
He
You
hates
can't-
it when it's a bear. He hates it when it's a fabric.
You can't survive in the real world without a button, bear.
All right, number 7 from Monroe Leaf. He wouldn't fight and be fierce no matter what they did. He just sat and smelled. And the bandoleros were mad, and the picadoros were madder, and the matador was so mad he cried because he couldn't show off his cape and sword.
We're idiots, and we said Fernando.
We said, starring John Cena, Ferdinand the Bull.
And it is indeed Ferdinand the Bull. The full title is The Story of Ferdinand, but I think I'll definitely give points for that. I don't know about Fernando, though.
It's an ABBA
probably not.
song.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
All right, the next one, number 8. This is E.B. White. Nobody of the hundreds of people that had visited the fair knew that a gray spider had played the most important part of all. No one was with her when she died.
This might be the only one I've read. Nope, I take that back. I read number 9 too. But we said Charlotte's Web.
Some pig. Charlotte's Web.
That was me after Halloween.
Okay, so both teams said Charlotte's Web.
Mhm.
Okay, that is correct. Once again, apologize for any spoilers in case you haven't read that book. All right, number 9 is Shel Silverstein. Come, boy, sit down and rest. And the boy did, and the tree was happy.
We said that is the Giving Tree.
We too said The Giving Tree.
And that is indeed the Giving Tree. Last one, Roald Dahl. There's no earthly way of... I'm not going to read the whole thing. It goes on and on. If you've seen the movie, it's the same thing.
We locked in with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
We too said Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
And that is indeed Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I'm glad you didn't fall into the trap of saying Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
All right, after the swing round, looks like we picked up a measly 20 points, bringing our score to 50. The boys across from me grabbed 35 points, bringing their score to 95. So we're down, but not quite out.
All right, well, the second round is definitely a whole lot easier.
Yay.
All right.
Not really. I just thought I'd give you guys false hope.
Oh, boo.
Don't give me hope.
Yay!
All right. So round 2, question 1 is in journalism. What newspaper, founded in 1851, stated in its inaugural issue, "We shall be conservative in all cases where we think conservatism essential to the public good, and we shall be radical in everything which may seem to us to require radical treatment and radical reform. We do not believe that everything in society is either exactly right or exactly wrong. What is good we desire to preserve and improve. What is evil to exterminate or reform." That was a mouthful. That was a long quote.
Mm-hmm.
And I can give you an extra hint if you need more information.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
More.
Okay, so the hint, it's definitely all the news that's fit to print.
Oh, okay.
The hint kind of gave it away, but
No. We needed it.
Yeah, we can lock in over here.
Yeah.
Boston Globe, right?
Oh, no, I was going to
It's
say
not.
Jeff, New York Times,
It's
right?
New York Times.
Yeah.
So 2 New York Timeses.
yes, that is correct. The New York Times. All right, question 2. This is in sports. What iconic sports arena has also hosted naval battles and animal hunts? Oh, and lots of nudity.
We're locked in.
I have a further hint if you need one, but I think that should be enough.
I think we both know it, but let's hear the hint for fun.
Give a thumbs up if you know the answer.
Yeah.
Pretty sure this is the Coliseum, Neal.
Oh, totally makes sense. Yes.
Yeah. They used to flood the place and stage naval battles.
I
giving-
didn't. Joaquin Phoenix killed men there.
Yeah. I'm giving Troll Toll a thumbs down.
It's actually a
we-
positive, right?
We also said Coliseum.
Yes, that is correct. It was the Roman Colosseum, and I read a book when I was younger called "Those Who Are About to Die Salute You," and just some of the stories that it had in there were just wild. It just kind of really made me open my eyes to the Roman Colosseum mythos.
Wow. Are you not entertained?
Oh yeah, it was definitely entertaining.
The question we're constantly asking our audience.
Now, the Coliseum, speaking of Bruce Lee, who's some of the sound effects
Speaking
for
of Bruce Lee.
our Game of Death. Well, it's kind of tangentially related.
Nobody was speaking of it.
But the Way of the Dragon, where he famously fights Chuck Norris, some of it was shot on a stage, but a lot of those sections of the fight scene, they snuck onto the Coliseum and bribed a security guard so they could film some of that.
Ah, I heard they snuck the Coliseum onto Chuck Norris.
They probably could have. You're right.
Okay, let's move on to question 3 in round 2. This is in fashion, definitely a school subject. What controversial figure, immortalized by Aqua, has been a teenage fashion icon for over 60 years?
We're locked in.
Mm-hmm.
You need the last name too.
If you know it.
Barbie Streisand.
Yeah, we said Barbie.
We went with Barbie.
Barbie girl.
That is correct. It is Barbie. I don't know her last name. I know she has one when I was doing the research, but I forgot to write it down. So
There was a big uproar on TikTok because Aqua is on TikTok and they make different TikToks and stuff, which is really just them singing and whatnot.
Aqua's active?
They're active actually, and they're older now too, which is kind of funny. They're singing the
They
song.
got older?
They definitely got
How
older.
dare they?
But one of the controversies was they were singing the lyrics sort of as a karaoke of their song Barbie Girl, and apparently people have been singing it wrong forever because a lot of people sing it, I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world, but it's in the Barbie
In
world.
the Barbie
and apparently
world.
people were up in arms.
Yeah.
There's a Barbie world?
And Ken, speaking of Barbie, one of your favorite actors of all time is going to be playing Ken in the Barbie movie.
They're making a movie?
Ryan Gosling?
Ryan Gosling
For real?
with Margot Robbie.
They're really making this?
Yeah.
Is it going to be like a dirty comedy?
I think it's going to be like a satirical one. It's Greta Gerwig is directing, Margot Robbie as Barbie, and Ryan Gosling as Ken.
That's insane.
It's the new MCU, the Mattel Cinematic Universe.
For the record, Barbie's full name is Barbara Millicent Roberts.
Oh, obviously.
And it was named after the creator's daughter, I believe.
Mhm.
All right, number 4 in round 2 is in literature. Another literature question. What poet, who always makes me think of Martin Short for some reason, wrote the following lines? 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by.
We're locked in.
Wow. We are also locked in with Robert Frost.
Mhm.
Yep. Because didn't Martin Short play Jack Frost in that one movie?
Oh, you're right. Yeah, Santa Claus. Mhm.
Yep. So Robert Frost.
I was
That
like,
is-
no, Jack Frost was a snowman played by Michael Keaton, right?
Well,
That
there
is
was that
also
one too,
true.
yeah. I didn't think about that reference, but yeah, I was definitely thinking of Jack Frost when I wrote that. So, yeah, it is indeed Robert Frost. Good job. All right, question 5 is geography again. So there are 4 U.S. capitals that end in city. Can you name all 4?
So Jeff wrote down 2. What were the 2 you wrote down?
Jefferson City, Missouri, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Okay. And then for some reason, I don't know how, I pulled out Carson City. Is that for Nevada?
Yep, Carson City's Nevada.
That's where I'm at a loss.
Okay. Yeah, racking my brain here. I feel like I could get here eventually, but we're stuck on 3. So we just have Jefferson City, Missouri, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Carson City, Nevada,
And you were missing Salt Lake City,
Oh.
Utah, and Carson City, Oklahoma City, and Jefferson City.
So you guys both, you had 3 of them, yes, and then Salt Lake City was the 4th one. So yes, it was Salt Lake City, Oklahoma City, Carson City, and Jefferson City.
I always forget that's the capital.
Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
You know who's in Salt Lake City? Me over here.
You named every state around Utah. And
No,
then,
I hadn't gotten there yet. I was going alphabetically.
oh, jeez.
For the listeners at home, there was 1 hour of content cut out.
And with that, that is the first time that we got a question right that they got wrong. And we got 100 points over at Boys Soul and Troll Toll 135.
All right, so let's move on to question 6 in round 2. This is an economics question. This chain of supermarkets was the first in the U.S. Its first outlet opened in 1916 in Memphis, Tennessee, and is notable for having been the first true self-service grocery store and the originator of various familiar supermarket features such as checkout stands, individual item price marking, and shopping carts. All right, the hint is its mascot makes me want to just shout, "That's all, folks!"
Well, I assume that isn't the Piggly Wiggly.
Oh, yeah, it must be because it's Porky Pig who says that's all, folks, right?
Mm-hmm. I don't think there's a Porky's.
So we'll go with Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy is an absolute monster. Really interesting read, though, if you read up on him. Piggly Wiggly.
Yes, it is correct. It is the Piggly Wiggly, and it apparently is a regional thing. So some of the playtesters said I needed to give a little extra hint there. So, all right, number 7 is in elements. What element is used in catalytic converters and in pacemakers? It is more expensive than gold and was once called white gold.
Yep.
Locked in.
I think we are too.
Believe that would be platinum.
Yep, we too said platinum.
That is correct. It's platinum. Thought I'd throw in some easy ones here and there, you know.
Oh, we appreciate it.
Not for me, but I learned something.
Easy for at least one person on the team. So.
Yes.
All right, number 8 is going to be in explorers. Although it mainly just caused civilization-destroying diseases, what was the distribution of trade goods, people, and ideas with the European colonization of the Americas called? And it's kind of fitting since the namesake explorer was a horrible person.
Yeah, we're locked in.
Oh, is this the Silk Road?
No, that was
That was from
Asia.
India to, yeah.
I also thought about the East India Company, but I don't believe it was that either.
That was Columbus's, wasn't it?
What about Columbian Exposition? I know
Okay.
that was like the name of the World's Fair type thing too,
Yeah.
but so basically the trading to the north to the
Yeah.
Americas.
Yeah, I
That
know.
wasn't the East India Company. Would it be?
That was what Columbus's trading group was called.
Oh, all right. We'll say the East India Company then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, widely considered, as a single event, the deadliest single event, the Columbian Exchange.
Oh yeah.
Yep, you guys were right there with the Columbian Exposition or whatever you said, but yeah, it is the Columbian Exchange.
I read a book about that. It was called The Columbian Exchange.
Wow, creative.
Well, that sucks.
T.S., what are you doing over there?
Yeah.
All right, question 9, a movie question. This would be fairly easy for some of you. What 2015 Oscar-winning movie planned on filming in Canada, but when all the snow melted due to production delays, it was forced to move their production to Argentina, where there was still snow on the ground?
Do you think it was Snowpiercer?
Nope.
I don't think so either.
The Snowman, probably not.
I was to say, I don't think Snowpiercer won an Academy Award, did it?
Nope.
Maybe not.
Maybe for design or something.
It was good, though. It was a good movie.
It took me a minute, but this was a kind of a fun fact about this movie, and once it clicked, it's an interesting story how they filmed it.
All right. Yeah, I just don't know.
I don't know either.
It would be just a guess. So
It would make sense that Hydra would want to hide out in Argentina, though.
go ahead, Neil.
So Ken, if I said this movie won an Oscar for the lead actor just because he acted that he was cold because he was cold, very cold.
The Revenant.
The Revenant.
Oh,
That is indeed correct. The Revenant. I kind of had a hint in the beginning, but then I thought it would make it way too easy. I said Leo eats liver.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it was just the right amount because it took me
He
a
went
minute.
so method. He became unvegan.
He became unvegan and he actually dated someone over 25.
Yeah. Slept in a bear carcass.
Yeah, a lot of that was a very interesting story of that. All right, let's move on to number 10. Last question in the round. And this is in herbology. Nothing to do with Harry Potter, I don't think. What herb gets its name from the belief that it will lengthen life and increase wisdom?
we're electing.
Oh.
Oh
good.
wow, lengthen life and increase wisdom. Is this
Say-
those pills you get at
Oh,
7-Eleven?
yeah, you're right.
The
5-hour energy.
No, the pills at 7-Eleven that are like St. John's wort or like bull shavings or whatever.
They're like right next to the counter.
yeah,
Go Biloba.
it's like if you want to be
Bowl
more,
shavings.
well, I don't know, something like that. Yeah.
Isn't that called jerky?
What can I do you for tonight? I want some of those bull shavings. I got them right here for you.
Fun night planned with your girlfriend.
Hey kid, you want to be virile? Get some bull shavings.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm at a loss. Do you know any herbs? Can you just name one herb?
I know Herbes de Provence.
Okay, we'll lock in with herbes de Provence.
Okay. And if you want wisdom, you might want sage wisdom. So we said sage.
Oh,
Yep, you definitely picked up on that clue. It is sage.
I guess that is an herb. I also
Yeah.
have some
I
in my refrigerator.
guess.
I guess according to my facts, it's only
Yeah.
kind of an herb.
It's just like a green thing I buy at the grocery store. I don't know what it is.
It's only like 30% an herb, but the rest of it's who knows what. It's kind of a mutt.
All right. Concluding regulation. Looks like the troll toll has 175, and we are right behind them with 130, hoping to pick up some points in the final round.
All right, so let me give you the categories. The first one is chemistry. Number 2 is history. Number 3 is reading. Number 4 is writing. And number 5 is arithmetic.
All right. All the wagers are now locked in. It looks like you guys did something crazy. Why don't you tell me what that is?
Well, we never usually bet zero on anything, but we went 30, 30, 0, 0, 10.
Okay. All right. So let's get the questions now.
All right, the first question is in chemistry. Abbott and Costello, by far, made the most movies together at 39. What 2 comedians/actors sit in second with 18 films together starting in 1998, although one of them usually only has a small part? Number 2 is in history. Everyone knows that Bill Nye the Science Guy, but his parents had pretty interesting careers themselves. His father was captured by the Japanese while helping to build an airstrip on Wake Island during World War II, and his mother was a Goucher girl from nearby Goucher College. What were the most intelligent of the Goucher girls contracted to do for the U.S. government during World War II? And I will give you a little bit more. Batman could have used their help fighting Edward Nygma. question 3 is in reading. If you were reading a book about Rabbit by a Pulitzer Prize-winning novelist, poet, and essayist from Reading, Pennsylvania, whose book would you be reading?
Well, we should have bet on that one.
And then writing, for question 4, what former basketball great has an IQ of 131, wrote an autobiography called Giant Steps, and was even awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom?
John Coltrane?
And finally, question 5 is arithmetic. What American indie rock band from Atlanta released the album Simple Math in 2011?
Oh, man.
They joined Blink 182 and My Chemical Romance for part of the 2011 Honda Civic Tour, and their name would seem to be a bit of a misnomer since they seem to only have no more than 5 members.
Well, these categories were misleading, to say the least, and we will see how it goes. We'll be right back. All right, all the answers are now in. Let's get the questions one more time and see if we could catch these guys.
I think there's a good chance.
Could
All
happen.
right, so chemistry was the first one. Abbott and Costello, by far, made the most movies together at 39. So what two comedians, actors, sit in second with 18 films together, starting in 1998, although one of them usually only has a small part?
All right, this was a misleading category. So we only wagered 10 here, but we think we got the right answer, right?
I'm 50% confident.
All right, we said Adam Sandler and Rob Schneider.
Yeah, we bet 30 because Jeff thought it would be about chemistry.
Wrong.
But thought wrong, and we had a lot of trouble with this one. I now hearing the clue about small part, I feel like they're right over there. But we went through Seth Rogen and James Franco, which we ended up locking in with John C. Reilly, Will Ferrell, Vince Vaughn, Owen Wilson. But we know it's wrong, so we just said Will Ferrell or James Franco and
Owen
Seth
Wilson,
Rogen.
who cares?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
so the hint that you guys didn't let me give because it probably would have made it too easy was "You can do it."
Yeah.
Yep.
Refers to Sandler and Schneider. Good
There
job,
you
guys.
go.
Good poll.
You know what, Neil? There are no small parts.
That's true. Only small actors.
All right, so question 2 was in history. Everyone knows Bill Nye the Science Guy, but his parents had pretty interesting careers themselves. His father was captured by the Japanese while building a airstrip on Wake Island in World War II, and his mother was a Goucher girl from nearby Goucher College. What were the most intelligent of the Goucher girls contracted to do for the U.S. government during World War II?
And we think that is, for 20 points, code breaking.
Yeah, we wagered 30. We said code breaking.
It was indeed code breaking. The Edward Nygma clue was in reference to the Enigma cipher, which was one of the major ones that the Germans used. So, all right, let's move on to reading. If you were reading a book about Rabbit by a Pulitzer Prize-winning novelist, poet, and essayist from Reading, Pennsylvania, whose book would you be reading?
All right, for another 20 points, we said John Updike.
Yeah, we didn't write anything down because we wagered 0.
All right, well, it is indeed John Updike, so good job, guys. All right, question 4 was in writing. What former basketball great has an IQ of 131, wrote an autobiography called Giant Steps, and was even awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom?
Another 20 points on this one. I'll pass it to Matt.
Yeah, and we're throwing around a couple different names, but Giant Steps, smart guy, reminds me of Yao Ming, so we locked in with Yao Ming.
We unfortunately bet 0, but I'm pretty sure this is a person who's a great writer. He actually was on the writing staff of the last season of Veronica Mars. I believe it is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
And if I said he insists his name is really Roger Murdoch, and he's the co-pilot, that would definitely lead you to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Good job. You said you bet 0 on that, though? That's unfortunate.
Sadly, yeah.
All right. Last one is in arithmetic. What American indie rock band from Atlanta released the album Simple Math in 2011? And they joined Blink 182, My Chemical Romance for part of the 2011 Honda Civic Tour, and their name would seem to be a bit of a misnomer.
You wagered 0, but Matt regretted it because he knew it right away.
Yeah, actually, the first time I saw this band, I thought, how are they going to fit a whole orchestra on that stage? I believe it's Manchester Orchestra.
Yeah, we had no idea, so we said Simple Minds. We're going to lose 10 on that one.
And that is indeed Manchester Orchestra.
All right, it was a nail biter, and well, it looks like pay the troll toll to play the quiz bowl. Just barely hung on with their fingernails. We got 160. They got 165. You're the cream of the crop.
The cream of the crop.
I don't know if I feel good about that win or ashamed that we should have won by more, hopefully, but we made some mistakes in that final round. We just got very lucky.
Neal, a win is a win.
That's true.
It all came down to one question, essentially. So
It all did come down to one question, Ken. And speaking of that, I'm sure Sam's students often tell themselves that during Quiz Bowl. And he gave us a very good game here. We didn't have any buzzers, but we did our best. And Jeff, I'm glad that we were able to pull out the win. But Sam, anyone you'd like to give a shout out to? Any advice for us if we'd like to join your Quiz Bowl team in the future, if we are worthy enough?
Oh yeah, definitely want to shout out to my students if they ever happen to listen to this episode. I try to get them to listen to you guys all the time, and they're like, we don't listen to podcasts, we only listen to music. But anyway, and also my 14-year-old son Asher, he loves trivia. He's on the Quiz Bowl team, and he loves listening to you guys.
just saying is we got to get on the TikToks.
Yeah. And then also, I mentioned her before, my co-teacher Debbie Briscoe Watley, the daughter of Jack Briscoe. Anyway, so yeah, that's about all the shout outs I got. So,
Well, hello, Asher. Thank you for listening. Get all your friends to listen to us. Just tell them that we're doing crazy stuff over here, I guess.
We're flossing.
We're pranking, we're flossing, we're, I don't know, playing Fortnite while playing
Prank
trivia.
flossing.
Prank flossing.
I mean, we do occasionally make edgy jokes. Teenagers like that.
I do like
Neal
the
is
prank
very
flossing.
sus.
I am very sus. No cap on that. Exactly. So
I
yeah,
have no idea what's going on.
We're just saying young people things.
young people speak. But
I'm dabbing right now.
I've got a great fit.
there, and it's some nice drip. So thank you very much. Oh, sorry, Sam. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I've been playing Fortnite this whole time, so we're good.
Well, your questions were certainly a challenge. We appreciate you putting the game together for us. And yeah, thank you to all your students too. Hopefully they will start listening to this, and I'm sure they're going to do better than us on the next round of questions.
Well, that'll do it for today. Once again, I want to thank Sam. Thank you, Jeff, Neal, and Matt for joining me in the studio today. And that was Triviality.
Falling into
Because
a
the
boy's
Democratic
hole
Republicans pretty much, so the Democratic Republicans were like right in a row. So like Jefferson,
We've
Madison, Monroe, all, and then it switched to just Democrats.
And then there were
Andrew
other
Jackson.
presidents that had affiliations. Correct.
You
Okay.
guys smell something smoky? Is it you?
Might be me.
Okay. Just making
Smoky?
sure your house isn't on fire or something.
Are you having a stroke?
I don't think so.
Burnt toast?
It smells like burnt hair.
It might just be his coat, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you probably
Where
smell.
you been?
You probably smell me. I singed my arm while I was cooking dinner.
Oh, then it's.
Oh
Jeff.
wow, we're smelling your skin.
No, I just if you look,
Here, let me give your arm a whiff.
Oh man, end clip material here. Is it Jeff's singed
I don't
skin?
know.
Let me smell your arm.
actually, it doesn't really smell anymore. But you can look. You can see where it's like all
Alright.
short here.
Okay, all right.
Let's continue.